So today I am getting ready for Comic-Con. I'm so excited. So I'm going as Lara Croft because it was a very last minute decision. I didn't have time to put together another outfit and she's so easy. So I wanted to show you how I got ready as her. So already I've gone ahead and I put on my foundation. So one, I was using Flower in the color LF3, and I was also using my MAC Studio Sculpt in the color NC20. So I always combine these and I seem to get the perfect shade. So I've blended that all in with my Beauty Blender, and I've also gone in with my Maybelline Master Highlight blush. I just added a little bit of color to the to the cheeks. So obviously I'm going for that really, really dirty Lara Croft, like after, you know, a while in the wilderness Lara Croft. So for the eyes, I'm just going to put on some mascara. So to do this, I'm going to use my Lash Sensational Mascara by Maybelline, and I'm going to coat both the top and the bottom lashes. I'm not even going to bother curling them. So you can add as many or as little coats of mascara as you want. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go back in with another couple coats. I just like really coated eyelashes. So now comes the fun part. So I just picked up these markers from the party store, and I'm going to be using the red and the black. The only weird thing about them is I like how they're crayons, but they don't have caps, so they're already smearing everywhere. I don't know, I found that a bit odd. So I'm going to take the black first to add a little bit of dimension and mark out where I want my cuts. Now, if you're not comfortable with doing it, then obviously you can go in with like a white eyeliner. I'll do that so I can show you guys. Or a cream eyeliner works just as well. So I'm going to mark out where the cuts are that I want on my face. So the most significant one that I'm seeing is right on the nose, like right up here. Across the bridge of the nose. I'm just going to mark it very sloppily. And then she has a big, I'm going to do it over here. She has a big gash from her lip. It kind of zigzags down a little bit. And then she has a couple of them over here. So I'm just gonna, she has a big one on her forehead, so I'm just gonna kind of fill in this area. So just, like I said, if you look at a reference picture, it makes it 100 times easier. But just put cuts here and there. Now, she hasn't been in like a brawl, so you don't have to go crazy with the cuts. But a few cuts here and there will give you the point that you're trying to get across. So then I'm gonna take the black and I'm gonna go over this cream color. So just lightly run it over. And like I said, I like using black because it just gives the cut a bit more dimension than if you just did red. I'm going to be incorporating eyeshadow as well into the look. So using my Urban Decay Naked Smoky Eye Palette and taking a flat shader brush. I'm going to take the color called Black Market, which is just a matte black, and I'm going to deepen up this black and kind of set it as well, like at the same time, by just patting over the cream makeup. Then I'm going to go over it with some red. Wow, too bad this thing sucks. Just had to dig through a whole bunch of spiders to get a cream makeup. Oh my god, this is vampire blood. I'll be right back. I can run all over creation for these things, so I got red and black just in case I want to darken up the red. But what I am going to do is take some of that red face paint and just using my finger, I'm going to start dabbing it on the cuts right over the black. Kind of make it look icky. Now, of course, you can go really in-depth with this with special effects and scar wax. Unfortunately, I ran out of time and I couldn't find scar wax anywhere. But not a big deal. We'll work with what we got. And then I'm going to use the, I'm going to use a little shader brush to kind of get more precisely right in the nose. Alright, now while I'm allowing all of this to dry, I'm just going to take a little bit and do what I was doing here. But all throughout my face. And don't worry about going a little crazy with this because we're pretty much going to be covering up with dirt. So as visible as this might seem, it's really, really, really going to dissipate once we add all the brown. So don't worry if you're like, okay, my face just looks red. It looks like I put red foundation on. That is honestly totally okay. Make sure that you bring it down to your neck, especially if you're actually going to like a comic book convention like I am. It's really important. You don't want like a messed up face and then a perfectly fine neck. You definitely want to stay consistent. Okay, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows, because if you think about it, Lara Croft didn't just wake up in the woods one day and was like, I'm here. She was in civilization. I'm sure she got ready for the day, and I don't think she wears a lot of makeup. That's why I just put on the mascara. But I am going to fill in my brows to make it look like I did get ready and then I was, you know, in the woods or whatever. So let me grab my angled brush. Okay. And then I'm going to use my Brow Envy kit from Too Faced, and I'm going to be using the brunette color. And taking my angled brush, I'm just going to start filling in my brows with the white balance all messed up. Brows are filled in, so now I'm just going to set them. This brush doesn't want to work with me. I'm just going to set them by using Rimmel London's Brow This Way Brow Gel, and I'm just going to brush that through my brows. I want to make sure my brows are perfect for this vlog. Okay, now comes another fun part. We are going to dirty up our face. So to do this, I'm actually going to use my Cocoa Contour Palette. And I usually use the medium cocoa, but for this we're using the dark cocoa, which is a more warm tone brown. So I'm going to take, let's see what kind of brush we want to use. I guess we can start, well, we'll start with a smaller, more precise brush. Ella! Stop it. We'll start with a smaller, more precise brush, and then we can work up higher if we think we need a bigger brush. So I'm just taking a little bit of that bronzer, and I'm literally just going to start dirtying up my face. My daughter is up. You can dirty yourself up as much as you want. Bring it as far down as you want. I'm going to get dressed later and add more as I go. But I'm so out of breath. Next, I'm going to add the vampire blood. I'm actually glad that I brought this up. And I'm going to add a little bit of this blood into our wounds to make them look a wee bit more realistic. So add as little or as much as you want of vampire blood. I just like the effect that it gives that's kind of shiny, because that's how actual like scrapes and gashes look. So my makeup is done for now. Like I said, I can always go back and add more as I want. But next I'm going to completely straighten my hair. I've already straightened my extensions, but all of this needs to be straightened. Okay, so next I'm going to put my hair in a ponytail using my extensions, but first I want to tease this rat's nest we have going on in the back. So I'm going to kind of brush the hair back. Then I'm going to take this first section in the front. You can do bigger or smaller sections. And I'm just going to back comb it. And I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to continue this all throughout the crown of my hair. Okay, once I have all my hair back combed, or the crown of my hair back combed, I'm going to lightly brush it back to kind of smooth it out. We're basically smoothing out the top layer so it hides all the back combing underneath it. Then I'm going to clip the top section that I back combed out of the way so we can start putting in the extensions. I already have a more in-depth tutorial on how I put in extensions into a ponytail, so I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to go ahead and clip them in. So if you want to see how I did it, you can go and check out that video and I talk you through it step by step. But to be honest, I'm kind of... Okay, sorry. I have all my hair back combed and my extensions in, so now comes the fun part where we create the ponytail. Now remember, you've been running through the woods. It is not going to be a perfect ponytail, so leave it like this. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to take the top section, actually the front sections of my bangs, and bring them back. So I kind of create this poof of volume in the back. And I'm not even going to really smooth out the front if there's bumps and stuff. That's okay. And I'm going to take a bobby pin and secure this in the back. Basically did two ponytails. So the top half has one ponytail and the bottom half has another ponytail. You see my short hair, but that's okay. That'll be all under the pony. But it just makes it a longer and it looks thicker than if you just did a regular ponytail. So for the bangs, I'm literally just going to pull it down and straighten any pieces if I need to. But like I said, keep in mind that she has a lot of short layers already down in her hair. If you look at any reference photo of her, she always has hair down in the front. And keep in mind that she's been running through the woods, so her hair is not going to be perfect by any means. So if it looks a bit messy, don't get too picky with it. I'm going to take my teasing brush and very, very gently kind of tease it up just to make it a little more not put together. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the ponytail, make it look a little bit more like we've been doing some stuff. And I'm going to, once you're totally satisfied with your hair, I'm going to give it a quick spray. And that is pretty much it for hair. So you have the Lara Croft ponytail. You can fix any pieces that you feel might need a little fixing maybe. But that is pretty much it. So you have her ponytail. So let's move on to the outfit. The dog freaks out in the background. Now we are getting into the fun part. So I have on a white camisole topped off with a gray cami. And then I will move this down so you can see that I'm wearing a belt and these green like camo pants with my holster for the gun. Not exactly like her, but pretty close. So we're going to create the gauze on her arm, and she has one on the leg that doesn't have the holster. So I'm just taking a regular gauze wrap, and I am going to measure out how much I need for my arm and for my leg. So for my arm, I just want to wrap around maybe twice. I think that would be good. So we'll do about there for the arm, so about that much fabric. Okay, so once I have my gauze wrap cut, I'm going to measure it on my arm again. So I want it to be about there. I just want to like see where exactly I want the blood to go. So what I'm going to do is lay it on my arm because I don't care if my arm gets some blood. It'll add some... Whoops, this drips everywhere. Be really careful with this. And I'm just going to dab this right on the gauze as if there was a wound underneath it. Okay, yeah, see, I got some on my arm, but that's okay. So I'm going to bring the gauze up here. I'm going to wipe this on my pants for added effect. And I'm going to, no, my child doesn't listen to me. So I'm going to wrap the gauze around. It would, of course, be a little more helpful if you had an extra set of hands, but I don't, so I'm just going to tie this off so it'll stay. Okay, and then I kind of like it to have a little bit of excess. Kind of looks like you actually tied it, which we did. And you can add as little blood or as much blood as you want. So there's our arm piece. So I'm going to do the exact same thing but for my thigh.